let's talk about a good foundation on how to sell KWA rifles. Now, Tom and Debbie, I know you're gonna watch this. I apologize for the profanity I'm going to use. We'll open this up by saying there are a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there perpetuating a lot of shit that's half true. Because what a lot of people will say is, oh, don't buy a KWA AEG because it's proprietary. Get that motherfucker to tell you to what part? What part is proprietary and how does that impede performance? And if they can't give you a specific answer, they're a fucking idiot. Let's go over benefits and features. This is the Eve 9. Now I would show you the Eve 4, but I sold out. We sell these for $270 and the FPS range is 330 to 390. We'll go over the AEG 2.5 in a second. And by second, I mean now. You're gonna wanna get used to, or at least familiarize yourself with the AEG 2.5 system and the AEG 3 and AEG 3.5. The main selling points when selling an AEG 2.5 rifle from KWA, which is now most of them. So off the top of my head, all the Ronins and I think all the QRFs, with the exception of the Ronin 10, has that AEG 2.5 system, which means you can go from usually about 330 to 340 all the way up to about 370 to 380 depending on which gun. This guy, the Eve 9, is advertised at going up to 380. Now granted that is with a newer spring. Once that spring wears in, I don't know what that FPS variance is. I played with this at Desert Fox events. Holy shit, was it fun. So anytime you are selling any KWA rifle with the AEG 2.5 system, in Northern California, it's not really a thing, but if you're in like Southern California or on the East Coast, where you're doing like indoor fields that cap at 350 and outdoor fields that'll let you go up to 400, that AEG 2.5 system is gonna allow you to go up and down depending on what field you're at. So let's say you have that one gun and you wanna go to an indoor field that caps hard at 350. Cool, you can bring that down under 350. You can usually get it to like, I wanna say low to mid 340s. I think I've even seen a couple that can go down to 330, don't quote me on that. Or if you're going to an outdoor field that lets you shoot a little bit hotter, you can take that all the way up to usually about the 370, 380 mark. I've seen a couple of them that'll creep up to like high 380s, low 390s. That's also before modifications, keep in mind. That is a really good way, especially if you're in a region where that player is gonna go to fields that flip-flop between 350 and 400. KWA guns are a pretty good suggestion if they have that 2.5 system in there. It's super easy. It's literally just put the screwdriver in the buffer tube, unscrew that little plate they have, stick that Allen key down in there that they have, and just adjust it and get it re-chronoed. Bing, bang, boom. Particularly with these new KWA guns, they're now a polymer. Remember, these are the first all polymer rifles that KWA's ever done. They've been doing all metal guns, which were cool, but if you're trying to sell something, metal's gonna jack the price up, and airsofters are sometimes cheap bastards. So this is an all polymer rifle, which is why you can sell these at around that 270 price point. So it's still kind of in that CM18 pricing area, but it's cheaper than an ARP9. These Eves in particular, what's kind of neat is they have this like MP5 style. So this gun is basically like, if an MP5 got drunk and had a one-night love child with an M4. But the performance of these things is still super fun. Almost, if not all of the new KWA rifles are Gate Titan drop-in ready, meaning the install for a Gate Titan is gonna take way less time. So that's another thing to think about as well, is if you're trying to sell upgrades like Gate Titans and tech work for Gate Titan installs, try pushing these, because that tech is gonna be able to get these jobs done a little bit quicker than an Avalon or a Crytek or a combat machine, because these were purpose built to have Gate Titans installed in them. Anyone, look at me, just you and me, right? Just us. Any tech that says that KWAs aren't upgradable is a fucking doofus. Fight me. I have heard techs that say you cannot upgrade the trigger in a KWA. Hey jackass, explain the KWA special editions. Go ahead. One of the premium rentals at my field is a KWA T10 with a Gate Titan and a red max adjustable trigger in it. Which leads us to my favorite out of the box AEG other than the SSG1, the Ronin T10. This thing is going to be shooting at about 380, 400. So if you're dealing with players that are more like the outdoor fields, or if they're just going to a field where you can go up to 400, that's a good selling point. Always try to mention the FPS comparisons. That's good. This is going to be around that 415. So usually, like first-time players that are kids, probably not going to buy this one. I've had dads, however, come in and buy this thing, no questions. They're like, that looks cool, let me buy that. I'm like, okay, it does these things. Sounds great, looks, let me shoot it, let me dry fire. Okay, rack it up. Okay, cool. The big feature in here is the AEG recoil system. It's gonna have this little oscillating. It's gonna have a piston in here that just slides back and forth, gives the really cool electric recoil feel. Electronic recoil. I've done videos on this gun itself. I think this is a better AEG recoil system than the recoil shocks from Marui. I mean, that's a personal thing. One of the things I like to have, you can honestly do it in the shop if you want. Upgrade this fuse from a 20 to a 25. I've been singing this for years. If they're gonna be using an 11-volt battery, which they should unless they're a peasant, take the fuse out of this, go in the back of your tech room, take a fuse, drop in a 25 fuse in here, and then sell the gun. Bing, bang, boom. But the big selling point for this, other than the aesthetic quality and the fact that this is all metal, the FPS is a big one. It's that 380 to 400 price range. Obviously, the internals for any KWA are gonna be solid. The motors are super, super good. Stock hop-ups are just fine if you're just doing rec play stuff. But that recoil system is the big selling factor. If you are going to be selling KWA pistols, like this guy, as long as they intend on running them as green gas secondaries, or if they just plan on using them as range training supplements, that's good to go. This is a level 3 Safariland, or no, I'm sorry, level 3 Blackhawk, and this KWA SIG fit just fine into it. That's why I demonstrated it by here. We go to full retention. This holster is at full retention on a level 3. You know how much of a pain in the butt level 3 holsters are? Bang, bang, here we go, and it draws out just fine. So if you're wanting to sell these to someone that wants a more realistic pistol instead of like some crazy anime titty high kappa, yeah, these are good to go. As long as they understand that you're not really gonna be running HPA through this and that this is really designed to be a green gas secondary, KWA pistols are just fine. I've been using them and selling them for years. They're fine. That is it for like KWA gun sales points or class or whatever, but that's it. So if you would like to see like selling points for other guns, let me know. If you work at a shop, please let me know what shop you work at, because this is all just intended for like sales associates. And if you're a sales associate or manager, I would love to know what you think of these videos. I love you.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?